Welcome back to this week's podcast. I'm Kate.
And I'm Jake.
And this is Getting Comfortable.
Back again. Back by popular demand.
So last week we put out our first episode and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah. Everyone's been so supportive, actually.
Like, our friends are... Thank God for them. Like,
Thank God for them. What?
Yeah, because we have listens.
No, they have been really supportive, though. We appreciate that. We appreciate the support.
We just had one piece of negative feedback.
Oh yeah.
And that was from the older generation, and it was to stop saying like a lot.
The word like, we say the word like in like every sentence.
In like every sentence.
So that's our feedback from last week, is we say like too much. If that's our only feedback, I think we did all right.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and not say it as much. I don't know if we can, but we'll give it a go. And
so what's coming up on this ep?
So this week we went to the 1975.
Saw them live. By the way, we never mentioned, if you don't know who the 1975 are, they're a band. I just assumed everyone knew who they were, but I think...
Doesn't everyone know?
I don't know, but there might be people out there who don't.
Yeah, well, if you don't know, they're a band and they're unreal.
We saw them live anyways. And how was it?
It's the best night of my life. Nothing compares. Actually, no,
nothing compares in your whole life.
That time I went to see Hairstyles. That was a close. That's probably up there.
So your best nights of your life are just seeing your favourite musical artist?
Of course, because I listen to them all the time.
The thing I really liked about it is, like, it was a full production. Like, it was a proper show. Like, they had so many different things they were doing. They had a big conveyor belt treadmill thing at the front of the stage that Matt Healy, the main singer, was running on and dancing on. They had a big light display. Oh, it was brilliant. It was very good.
I'm still not over it. But, like, it's so funny because Jake didn't even like them.
I did. Like, I honestly did like them.
Like I said in last week's episode, Jake didn't decide to go until like a month before. And I was like, that's not fair. Because, like, I bought the tickets when they came out.
So because I'm not a day one, I can't listen to them now. Would you not want them to have more fans? Would you not be happy that there's more people going to see them?
Yeah, I'm not like... Oh my God,
No, but I did like them. I have liked them since, what's that album? Nothing You Are Beautiful for When You Sleep You Are Pretty. Whatever the fuck it's called. Whatever it's called. I know their names are mad, like, but whatever it's called, I listened to that and I thought it was deadly. But when I heard they were playing, I wasn't dying to go. But then when I heard their new album when it was released, I was like, I have to go. I have to see these.
Like, I've seen them before, but this was probably the best show like they've ever done.
That's one of the best live shows I've ever seen.
Because he's like sober now and stuff, that like he's not drunk on the stage anymore. Like, he's not smoking a joint.
He's not shooting heroin backstage.
You can't say that.
He did do that. He went to rehab for it.
You don't know that he like shot it backstage.
So one thing we never talked about is 2019. What are your hopes for the year? What do you want to happen in this year?
Get my driver's license. That's like my one hope for this year.
So 2019 is a success if you get your driver's license.
Yes. I'm terrified that I'm not going to be able to like drive a car. Like, I'm studying for my theory test now and I'm like, what the fuck
I don't think you don't even need a car, honestly.
I don't need a car. I just want my license so I can drive. So I can drive your car.
No, we have a few things coming up this year. We have a few concerts coming up. Anderson .Paak, Ariana Grande, Zach Abel. I don't know if anyone knows. Not a lot of people know who he is, but we're going to see him anyway.
Yeah, if you don't know Zach Abel,
we're going to Disneyland
in 2 weeks.
That's pretty good.
2 weeks today we're going.
So yeah, we got a few things coming up this year. I'm excited. I'm excited for the year.
Me too. It's our last year of college as well.
Oh yeah, God.
What are we gonna do after? Hopefully
the
this
podcast
goes well.
hopefully by the start of summer we'll be making cash money off this.
Jake, you can't say that.
I'm only joking.
We're cutting that out.
I'm only joking.
On YouTube, Kevin Spacey, let me know what's happening here.
Yeah, this is an interesting story. So basically, all this controversy came out about Kevin Spacey and, you know, I don't know, sexual harassment claims from...
Well, they came out last year, and we discussed this last week when we talked about the Me Too movement. And
yeah, so he had these claims came out last year. He was on a show called House of Cards playing a character, Frank Underwood. He releases a YouTube video, and it's titled "Let Me Be Frank." Little double meaning there. Let me be Frank as in let me play Frank Underwood, and let me be Frank, let me be honest, you know. That's saying people say.
Well, isn't Frank in House of Cards, isn't he gay but he's married?
Yeah, or he's bisexual or something. I don't think it's ever stated if he's gay or not. I don't know. But basically, in this video, it's not that long. I think it's only like 3 minutes or something. But he's basically saying things like, oh, you know, don't judge the story before you know both sides. You're not going to jump to conclusions without seeing my side of the story, are you? He's in character as Frank Underwood from the show, but the things he's saying relate to the real life controversy that's happened around him. So it's kind of confusing, but he's saying things like, you never saw me die, as in you never saw his character die, even though they say on the show that his character died, or they mention it anyway. You never actually see him die. So he mentions that in the video. He says things like, you never saw me die, you don't know what happened, you wouldn't jump to conclusions, you wouldn't leave me out to dry like this, would you? And there's some really weird quotes in it. Like, he says things like, I was bad and I didn't follow the rules and you liked it. You liked that I didn't do that.
What?
And he's obviously in character as Frank, saying that the watcher, the viewer of House of Cards, liked when he didn't play by the rules and stuff. Yeah. But when you think about it in connection to the real life claims against him, it gets a bit weird. Especially the fact that his court case is going on now and stuff like that. Yeah. It's just, to be honest, when I watched it, it kind of creeped me out a bit. Because I just think, fair enough, if he's innocent of these claims and he didn't do anything, fair enough. But if he is guilty, or if there's any truth to them, then it's creepy as fuck that he's sitting there like, oh, you don't know my side, I break the rules and all this shit. If it's true, it is alleged. It's not. There's no proof, I don't think, but it is alleged. So I don't know if it's true, but if it is, yeah, well, it's messed up.
I don't know his name, but you're from Star Trek. He was the first one to make a claim against Kevin Spacey. And like, who are we to say that he's not telling the truth?
Yeah, exactly.
But because he's not as well known as Kevin Spacey, I feel like people are quick to point the finger at the victim and be like, oh, why are you saying this? Like, you're just trying to get
obviously
them knocked off.
But the thing is, there is no way to know. We can't know for sure.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, Kevin Spacey would come out and just admit it, or there was some sort of proof or something. There is no way to know exactly what happened. Or something might have happened, but it might have been misconstrued some way, or so we don't know. But if there is any truth, I think the video is really weird. I don't know who told him to do that. I feel like his PR management or someone must have said, let's make this video. I don't know if it's the best move. It got a lot of views, and to be fair, it's got a lot of support. When you look at the dislikes to likes ratio, there's a lot more likes than there is dislikes. So he still has fans out there, obviously.
Yeah, but maybe they're not fans of Kevin Spacey, but more fans of Frank.
Yeah, and then there's the question: can you disconnect his art from the claims against him? You know, can you watch a Kevin Spacey show or movie and not think about the things that have been accused of him? You know.
Well, in the last year, I haven't been able to watch anything with actors that have like been alleged, and then it comes out that it's true. So I think it'll be the same as Kevin Spacey. I don't think I'll be able to watch him the same way as I used to.
Yeah, it's hard. Even when someone is accused and you're not sure if it's true or not, it's still hard to not have those things in your head when you watch them.
Yeah, so following on to another sexual harassment case.
This might be even bigger.
This one is crazy in the last week. So it's R.Kelly.
Yeah.
And a documentary came out on Lifetime called,
go on, sorry.
Called Surviving R.Kelly. And like, there was a bit of controversy from him in the 90s. Like, I wasn't born, I don't think.
No, there was definitely a few. There was not just in the 90s, even in the 2000s, there was a few cases against him for sexual harassment.
Yeah, like he married Aaliyah when she was 15, But
and
then,
he was what, 24 or something?
Yeah, something around that. And then he claimed that she was 18 when they married. And then then he helped.
Oh, actually, no. I think she was 18 when they married, but I think the relationship might have started when she was 15. Younger. Yeah.
I'm not gonna like say that I know all the details because I don't. I'm just hearing and looking at little bits and pieces from different.
Based
articles.
on the doc says, you know, there was sexual harassment and she was underage, so that's all that really matters.
I think her mother denied the claims, but it doesn't make it any more weirder that he was that good bit older than her.
Yeah.
And then he helped produce her album that was called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
That's so weird. It's so weird. I mean, it's a weird song name anyway, or an album name anyway. But when you put it with the everything that's come out now, it's even weirder. Yeah,
like I don't think I'll be able to listen to like Ignition ever again.
But this is the thing is, these sexual harassment claims against him, if they've been around for a while.
Yeah. But
the only reason they're getting attention now is because of this documentary that came out. It's a 6-part documentary.
Yeah.
And it basically blew it all up, and everybody's talking about it now.
Even his
celebrities.
daughter kind of like said that the claims about them were true. Like she doesn't talk to him anymore. Like they're estranged. Yeah, that's how you say that. But she basically was like, that monster you're calling a monster is my father.
Yeah.
And she's like, you don't think I don't know what happened? Like I lived in that house growing up.
Yeah.
So I do think they are true. That's just my opinion.
Again, it's a case of how could we know?
Yeah.
You know, they are just accusations. But it seems like there's a few people kind of corroborating what the claims are.
Well, like a lot of stars have turned against him. Like Lady Gaga took off the single that they did on her album. It was called like Do What You Want.
Yeah.
And she was a victim of like sexual abuse.
Yeah.
And she like apologized. She was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so did Chance the rapper. They produced a song Somewhere in Paradise.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw there was
but
like a list of songs in an article.
So he came out as well. Chance came out and apologized as well for basically being associated with R.Kelly.
And then Cara Delevingne wrote a post about like how horrible like the documentary was and what R.Kelly. Maybe I should look at the post.
I'll get the tweet. You just talk. Give us the gist and I'll get the actual quote.
So anyway, she spoke out about him, and she lost 50,000 followers over it.
Yeah, so she was speaking in support of the victims.
Yeah.
And she lost 50,000 followers on Twitter because of what she said.
No, on Instagram.
Oh, sorry, Instagram.
And I just thought that was like, oh my god, you can't really say anything anymore because...
Yeah, so I have it here. She basically said, I finished watching the doc, so shocked and outraged at how long this has gone on. My heart goes out to all the victims. This man is a predator and feels the power and feeds off power, in my opinion. Far worse than Harvey Weinstein, and needs to be held accountable.
Well, I think some of the things they touched on about in the documentary was that he had like physical and sexual abuse, and it was the way that I kind of took it into account was that he was basically treating these girls like dogs, like kind of caging them in.
Yeah.
And manipulating
Actually,
them.
yeah, I read something about that where they had to like ask for food. They could ask if they could eat.
They had to ask to go to the toilet. They had to ask for food.
So weird.
And like, he was so good.
Well, that's the thing. Cara Delevingne says, "Stop separating the art from the artist. Just because he sings like an angel doesn't mean he is one."
Yeah, that's the thing that hit me the most.
So basically, yeah, she stood out, you know, against R.Kelly and the things that happened on the documentary, and she lost 50,000 followers from it on Instagram, which is weird. I don't know. Are they people who
are in support of him,
yeah.
Or
I don't know. It's confused. I'm not sure what would cause that. She also, you know, she puts hashtags like hashtag Black Girls Lives Matter, which are kind of weird hashtags. I don't know.
Well, I think the majority of the girls were
okay
black.
Fair enough.
I think the victims that were talking in the documentary, or maybe their parents were, you know, black.
But it's a strange one that she puts this out and people, so many, like, because if it was a couple of people not following, you'd understand, but 50,000, it's a big number. Probably there's more followers than any of us will ever know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's actually been some big stories this week.
And it's only like the second week of 2019, maybe
Yeah.
the third. I don't know.
Well, like I said, the R. Kelly thing, they've been around for a while. It's just kind of the documentary that's, brought them to light and made people think about it.
Well, there'd been allegations for a while. I think they started that during last year, and then
yeah. Well, he's had a couple of cases previously, and he settled them out of court, which means he's basically paid off the women.
Yeah.
Or he's sorted it out somehow with those women.
Oh my
So
God.
he's kind of avoided it before,
That's sick.
and now it's catching up to him, I guess.
Okay, well that was a bit heavy.
Yeah, so we're gonna make it lighter now in this next section. That was the big stuff. That was the big news that kind of came out.
So, here's our spilling the tea for this week.
Oh yeah, back again.
Back again, spilling more tea. So this week we're going to talk about the Oscars, because another story this week was with Kevin Hart. So we know he stepped down as being the host because tweets that he had written 10 years ago resurfaced.
10 years ago, he made some homophobic jokes.
And he apologised
Twitter.
then. But they came back again to haunt him when he got this gig as being the host for the Oscars. And he went on Ellen during the week.
And that kind of made it worse, didn't it? There was a kind of a bad reaction to him going on Ellen. And even Ellen caught some bad backlash off that as well.
Yeah, because she supports him. And like what he said on Ellen was that he was sorry, he apologized for the tweets, and he said like, I'm not that person anymore. He said, I'm not who I was 10 years ago.
Yeah, and then he stepped down from the Oscars.
Well, he had stepped down previously.
Oh, he had already
went
stepped
on
down,
Ellen
okay.
so she would persuade him
to get back
to do the Oscars. Okay. But he just won't do it. He won't make that night
about him yeah.
when it's about the actors and actresses. Well,
He
they're
said-
all actors now, aren't they?
Yeah,
You don't say actresses.
The same thing, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, he said something. He said basically on Instagram that he doesn't want to make it about the trolls, as he called them, the detractors. He wants to make the night about the awards and stuff. He doesn't want to take anything away from that, so he's just going to step down. But it's interesting because it's going to be the first time the Oscars is hostless for 3 decades.
Are they going to be hostless? Are they not going to find another?
No, I think they're going hostless.
What?
Now, there are rumours that the Academy want some of the Avengers Infinity War cast to come on and do like skits and little in-between award kind of things on stage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's not going to be just, a traditional host introducing everybody and calling out, the people who read out the nominees and stuff, you know. So yeah, they're going hostless for the first time in 3 decades.
Oh my God.
So obviously something like this hasn't happened for a long, long time.
And there was a promo before the Golden Globes, and Kendall Jenner was like speaking about like her raw story, and Kris Jenner was like, I'm so proud of you, Kendall.
What was this, in a promo video?
Yeah. Turned out it was about skincare, and the big hype over the video was that Kendall Jenner had suffered with acne. And when she went to...
That was her being vulnerable.
Yeah, but they saw that on like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that like she struggled with her skin and things like that. A lot of teenage girls do.
Yeah, no.
But I don't think it deserved the hype that it
no,
got.
it's fair enough. It is a problem.
Because
but, like,
the way they made it, it was like something terrible happened to
exactly. The drama of it all.
And that's Kris Jenner. She just wants that 10%, so she's gonna make that as dramatic as possible.
Kendall Jenner putting herself out there, talking about her acne.
Basically,
there's
she was like, I was at the Golden Globes last year, and I felt great about myself. But then pictures of my skin started to arise, and she's like, I got a load of hate and stuff.
Yeah, I guess there probably is a pressure for her to be...
You know what, Kendall? You're not alone. We all get spots.
Not me.
We all get...
I never get spots.
Who says
and
that?
I've never gotten them. That's me. Jake speaking. I never get spots.
You have some now.
They can't see that. They don't know that.
I can. That's all I have to look at. Okay, we're going to play a game now.
Yes.
Welcome to this segment. I hope
can't
you
wait for
enjoyed
this.
last week.
I'm so excited for this because you beat me last week, and ever since I've been counting down the minutes till I can come back and beat you.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Oh
Okay,
my
this
God.
has been in my nightmares. This has been keeping me awake at night.
Oh my God.
I cannot
shut up.
have people out there thinking you could beat me at anything.
But I did. Twice. Actually.
Once. We only saw once. We only heard once.
Yes, but I was there for twice.
Once on
I was
record.
there for both times.
I don't recall. I only recall one time. So explain the game. Let me know. What am I doing?
Okay, so this was it yesterday. The nominations came out.
Yeah.
And we thought it would be fun. We were running out of ideas, so we thought it would be fun if
That's a completely original idea.
Sorry.
We have loads of these.
Okay, yeah, loads. So we thought it would be fun to pick 3 categories each and like say who was nominated, but add in an extra person, and then I have to guess the person.
So for
that's
example,
not, okay, right.
I
Jacob,
have
explain that.
So one of my categories is, we've picked 3 categories already. One of mine is international male solo artist, and there's 5 nominees for each category. I'm gonna call out all 5, but one of them is gonna be a lie. Kate's gonna have to guess which one I made up. If she gets it right, she gets a point, and then we'll do the same for each category.
Wait, there is 5 though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You replace one.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Or else, because it wouldn't make sense if we read the actual 5 and then just put an extra one on.
Oh.
Then we'd know what it is. So.
You can go first because I went first last week.
Okay. So like I said, my category is international male solo artist. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So the nominees for this category are Drake, Eminem, Anderson .Paak, Shawn Mendes, and Travis Scott. Which one of them is not really?
Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, how did you know? How did you know?
I don't know. I just didn't think he'd be nominated.
He's an international male.
Oh.
Okay, so Kate gets a point already. Are you serious? Did you looked it up, didn't you?
Oh, that was a British breakthrough. Okay, so my
wait,
one.
what's this now?
British. I'm saying it.
Oh,
now.
okay, sorry.
Stop interrupting me.
Sorry.
So my one is British group. So
Wait, so is it breakthrough or is it group? Make your mind up.
breakthrough is one of my categories. I just not on that one yet. So
this is group.
yeah, for British group. Group.
Okay.
So Gorillaz, Arctic Monkeys, Years and Years, Little Mix, and One Direction. What?
One Direction.
Oh.
It's obviously the lie. They're not a group anymore.
They could still be
What do you?
nominated. I
Are
don't
you
know,
for
I
real?
couldn't think of any British groups. And you already knew that the 1975 were nominated.
Yeah, I said to you, make sure you mention the 1975, or I'm gonna know you replaced one of the acts. Okay, so. And you replaced them with One Direction, a group that doesn't even exist anymore. Are you for real?
I hate playing these games.
Right, well that's okay. So 1 point each then.
Yeah. Okay, right, your turn.
Okay, so next. Okay, so it's British album of the year.
Okay.
The 1975's album. Anne Marie's album. Speak Your Mind. Florence and the Machine. Highest Hope. Georgia Smith. Lost and Found.
Georgia Smith.
or I can't. I'm trying to think of one I can. This is so bad.
So I just get a point because you're bad at this game.
Oh my god. I was trying to stall so I could think of one, but I just can't think of a British album. How can I not think? How is there no? I don't know any British albums. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, so
right, let me go again.
No,
let me go again.
No, I know what they are.
You might have forgotten though.
No, I didn't.
Oh, shit. Fuck's sake.
Okay, so that's a point for me because Jake's spot at this game. Oh my god,
that is so. I'm so shit. I'm so sorry. I apologize to everyone out there. I'm so sorry.
Okay, my turn. And I'm actually okay at this game. No, I'm not. You saw from my previous performance. Okay, so mine is for Brit Award for International Female.
Okay.
So, Janelle Monáe.
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B.
Okay.
Camila Cabello.
Okay.
Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
And Rihanna.
Rihanna. It's not. Rihanna's a lie.
Yeah, how did you know?
Because where's she been? Rihanna hasn't got any music out.
Maybe she has. I don't think you listen to like mainstream music or whatever, so.
But I know that.
But oh no, she's British. Say
actually, to be honest, I thought it was Cardi B. I thought she was the one you made up. But then as soon as you said Rihanna, I was like, hold on, she doesn't even put out music anymore.
So the last and final round.
Oh my god, it's my go.
Yeah.
Okay, so my group, what was it? My category is international group.
Mm-hmm.
So here is the nominees.
Okay.
Brockhampton.
Okay.
The Carters. First Aid Kit. Nile Rodgers and Chic. And the Foo Fighters. Which one of them is not a nomination?
Can you repeat them? Repeat the first two.
Brockhampton and the Carters.
Nile Rodgers and Chic. Brockhampton and the Carters.
Which one's a lie?
What were the other two?
First Aid Kit and the Foo Fighters.
This is hard.
Come on, you gotta guess.
Brockhampton?
No, it was the Foo Fighters. They're not actually nominated. The Brockhampton is, yes. So it's 2-2 on points. Give me your things. Let's go.
Okay, so mine is
I'm gonna get this.
British Breakthrough nominees.
Well, I know any of these though.
No.
Are you serious?
I didn't know.
This isn't fair.
I didn't know that.
So I just have to try and guess if you're lying or not.
Yeah. So Georgia Smith, Ella May, Mabel, Tom Walker, and Lewis Capaldi.
The last one.
Why?
Because you read them off that for every other one, and then you looked at me. Yes. Am I right?
Yes.
That was so obvious, Kate. You were like reading them off and then looking at me, and then for the last one you just didn't look at your phone at all. So I knew straight away.
For fuck's sake!
Yes. So it's 1-1 now. I'm back in play.
Oh,
And this time, so now I'm the champ, and you're not getting the belt back. We have a real belt, by the way, for people who can't see us right now.
No,
obviously.
we don't.
We should have a real belt. But I'm the champ right now. Better luck next week. Better luck next week.
Don't worry, I'll regain my crown next week.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, thank you for listening. We are now on Spotify and SoundCloud, and we should be on iTunes by the end of the week, I hope. So it's Get Comfy Pod at all of those. And it's Get Comfy Pod on Instagram and Twitter. So give those a follow if
give
you
us a follow.
would like.
And when we are on iTunes, give us a rating. That really helps.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
Follow our accounts and you'll know all this stuff. You'll be in the loop.
Okay. So thanks for listening. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.